Hi everybody, just Jeff here. Jeff Sutherland, Associate Broker with eXp Realty. Now, you got this offer you put in, it's accepted. The seller accepted your offer. How exciting, you're gonna buy a house. Now what? Here are some of the steps that happen next in the transaction. You have an executed contract. You're gonna get copies of that. Actually, many people will get copies of that. Your realtor will, your title company will, and your lender will if you're financing the property. So one of the first things you're going to do is deliver earnest money to the title company. And that's typically within 48 hours after the execution of the contract. You can do that via sometimes personal check, cashier's check, you can even wire the money. Always be careful when wiring funds because of all of the wire fraud that's taken place in this country over the last few years. Always make sure you personally have contact with the title company and you have the exact correct bank routing number where that money is going to be deposited. Now, in the first few days of the escrow period, your realtor will be very, very busy. In fact, we often call this time the inspection period, also known as your due diligence period. In our area where we do real estate, typically the boilerplate of the contract suggests 10 days. When I work with buyers, I actually like to use 12 days of an inspection period. That inspection period is a time for you as a buyer to do your due diligence on the property, and actually there's many things you'll be looking at. You should always get an inspection of the property. This is when a general inspector comes out very quickly. Your realtor will be scheduling that for you, and that is where they're going to be looking over the entire house. Sometimes these reports range like almost 100 pages long, depending on how elaborate the inspection is. Keep in mind, this is a general inspection, not necessarily a specialized inspection. The reason I like to go a little longer on the inspection period, like 12 days, is because you might need a subsequent inspection following the general inspection. You may need an HVAC inspector. You may need a roof inspector. There might be termite problems. The list goes on and on. You want plenty of time to be able to make good decisions as a buyer to determine if you want to move forward with the purchase of this property. Typically, real estate contracts favor the buyer, so if there's something in this house that you're just very upset about, can't handle it, it's just too big of an issue, it's a showstopper, you have the opportunity to get out of that contract as long as you submit in writing why you are doing that and get your full refund of earnest money. In parallel to all this happening, you need to be working with your lender and making sure that you get all the information to your lender within the first few days of this contract. Time is of the essence, and we talk about that very much when it comes to real estate contracts. But in the first days of the inspection period, they're very critical. Your realtor is going to be very busy setting up inspections, making sure the loan's going okay, making sure all the parties in the transaction know what's happening. This is called the inspection period. If you have any questions on the inspection period and making sure that it's done correctly to make sure that you're represented properly, you can always give me a call. This is just Jeff Sutherland, Associate Broker, eXp Realty. Have a great day.